And then I just had some things I needed to, unfortunately, I don't like to dwell on the negative. However, I do need to clarify some information that's not correct. There was a Facebook message that was put out by Councilor Faber that, and I'll read the quote here, and the information is not correct, and I'd like to get that clarified. Without policies like this, and I don't have the whole message. It references who he's advocating for the council, because that's not my issue. And he's referring to policies that control the manager. Without policies like this, the town manager will continue his unchecked spending, such as handing out raises which average 16%, even as high as 25%, and burying an over 800K, it says contract, in the default budget without voter approval or town council knowledge. Ron Dunn and Ted Combs have worked together with me to prevent this irresponsible behavior in the future, in addition to saving the taxpayers over $1 million during the budget season. So it's really important to make sure we get the information that goes out to voters is correct. And that is simply not correct, and I'm going to show that information to be able to prove that today. So just on the OpenGov contracts, because that's what we're talking about, the OpenGov, there's two of them, asset management and the licensing and permitting. It's not $800,000. It's actually just over $500,000 between now and 2030. So it's certainly not, this would make you think that this is occurring $800,000 in 1 year, which is not correct. And we have that information. That information has been put out. It was put out to the council on December 11th. The document was passed on. So the council was aware of that. But I want to go back even further. Before I even came here, this discussion came up with Councilor Faber during the hiring process. And I talked about this program. There's been discussions ever since then. There's been numerous emails that have gone back and forth. So that is just simply not correct. And I'm going to show a particular video or council meeting where this is a couple of videos of council meetings during the budget process where this was discussed.
This is a waste of our time.
The average salary, if you let me finish, sir. The average salary increase, 16 and 25%, is simply not true. The average salary increase is 5.3%. Most of them are between 2 and actually 6. And I've yet to find anybody who has a 25% increase. So that is also incorrect. So I want to show, again, I want to provide the evidence so the people out there actually know the truth. And we're going to show segments of the council meeting in his own words where he makes those statements. So if you would put that up there.
Thank you. Ron?
Yeah.
I think it needs to come on. Information technology.
I have one. So in the management service line, I noticed that in 2026 it was 339, and in 2027 the departmental budget is 630, which is a pretty big increase. Is that the increase for OpenGov? And that's the difference between that, or is it the 44,000? It's on page 40 of the budget book.
So the biggest changes in IT are, there's a couple of changes. One is software and one is salaries.
Okay.
Remember, because you know.
Yes, it is, yeah. It's the software, because we basically doubled from default from 1 year to the next. And I thought the default budget was only things we had a contract for, so it was just contractual.
It is.
Okay.
So I entered into those contracts,
Okay.
and the purpose of those is both those programs, remember, one is paid for by building permit fees,
Yep.
and the other is going to be paid for by doing.
Right, that's right, okay, that's what I heard.
You gotta create a good environment, you gotta have a place people wanna work, and we have that in this town, which is why you're using great talent like Justin is there over there.
You need to
Because you
stop
have
this.
a great place to work, and it's the intangibles of it.
Just-
You can go chase money elsewhere and work in a less competitive environment. And I'm not even disagreeing with the raises, I'm just
Yeah,
saying it's
he lies.
Right.
And I understand the contract with the email. I'll start with that. How much of this 212K next year's spend are we contractually obligated to already where there's no way around? Zero. Oh, thank you.
There's an appropriation clause in contract.
After this, I need to come. Yeah.
Yep. Again, asking for clarity. Don't have a photograph remember.
You probably doing something else.
I need to respond.
What's that?
You probably do something else if you did.
Maybe not. What else is coming? When we went through this software, I guess, what alternatives did we look at? How did this come about? let me get more specific, that's too general a question. I guess, what other options were considered besides them as a vendor?
BSNA was another one that I looked at. So I've been through this whole process before. BSNA Tyler also has products, but those get matched with your larger ERP program, and it's more expensive. So BSNA had a number of challenges with it.
How long are you going to go on?
I don't know what it was before. The other thing about OpenGov is it has open architecture. If you're gonna make a change with BSNA, you have to pay them for every little change that you're gonna make in there. Whereas OpenGov has open architecture, you can go and make those changes, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah, this is not concise.
That has a lot more expensive costs in the long term. You know, you get that one way, if the prices is lower, but then you pay.
I asked this previous.
Time to wrap it up.
Do that, for instance, every time you add like your site plan, you change the site plan process, subdivision regulation plan, application process, you change that every single time. And they have to do that, they can't do it. So that's why.
So
That's why they really help.
this is taking over the meeting.
Sean, can I just ask you, at the beginning of the meeting?
This is almost over.
I know, okay.
This whole budget is hard. It's hard because every single thing is painful. Every single thing requires something. If we don't cut, it's painful, people are upset. I guess my gut reaction to this is if we've got a bill of 212, you know, we're trying to cut 370 because we cut 30 last week. Do we put this on hold for a year and kind of just analyze it? I feel like this really rushed and bowled me over with it, where I feel like it got away from me and we didn't really have a grip on what's going on. I see the value in it. When you were talking to me about it, when I saw the presentation, I do see the value in this. I feel like this just got rushed and ran through, and I hate making snap decisions when I'm trying to deal with Water Johnson money. And I just feel like we should almost have more time to mull this over. Yeah. No. We do. But I'm trying to look like, if we don't have that service and everything else.
This is not almost over.
It's most of the way there.
Can we get the truth?
I don't know. This is why I'm looking for suggestions from you guys too. This shouldn't just be me coming up with ways to save taxpayers money. I'm looking for all five of us to come up with an budget committee.
It's getting way out of hand.
I know. You know, what should be, because I'm trying to get this now. And so I'm.
This isn't about the
this is
election.
painful, too. I don't necessarily want to.
Sean, how much, like,
If I gotta pick something,
You're gonna make a comment here that
Okay.
seals this
you
issue.
know, this is where I sit, so.
So
I
you
just said at the
suggest-
beginning of the meeting, sir, that we're going to try to make our comments in 5 minutes or less.
Yep.
And
I'm not a
you-
member of the public, though. I'm a member.
I know, but
Doesn't
you
matter.
you had said you were going to keep it concise, and I'm just asking you to respect your time, because,
So can I respond?
So am I.
So can I respond?
So if I could finish, sir?
yeah, absolutely. Finish
Okay.
and you can respond.
So,
How's that?
uh,
Concisely finish.
Yeah.
We had a government official that put out information that is incorrect. I'm clearing it up by using his own words.
Yep.
The council was well aware of this. The council could have appointed $0, but it didn't. It approved a budget with this amount of money in it, which went to the voters. So that is not true that the council did not know about it, and it was hidden in the budget. That's not true either. That's important to get that out. The information about the salary increases was also incorrect. It's important that these people get the correct information out there. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I know it's uncomfortable. My objective is not to attack him. That is, I'm tired of this business, the toxicity of the politics here. But he's the one that made this statement, and he signed it as vice chair of the council. So that goes out to people. They believe it because it came from a government official. It's important to clarify that, because during the budget process, the council was well aware of that, made a conscious decision to do that, and it's important that people understand that.
I think you made your point.
I think I
So,
have. Thank you.
I just ask everyone to be more concise. Can you be concise, please? Hey, yeah, please. Yes. Yes.
So if anyone wants to look up the OpenGov contract, it was signed in August 15th, well before the budget hearing. So yes, we all knew about it during the budget process. We're discussing the budget process. We're discussing. There was no finalization made in any of those meetings because we were going through and trying to analyze what we were going to cut. The budget committee, and you can watch the budget committee meeting a week before we have to have our warrant articles out, requested OpenGov get on the ballot for the voters to have a choice. Ron and I went into Sean's office at 3 p.m. that Monday and also told him the warrant article needs to be displayed in that meeting. It was not. This was hidden from the public and kept away so that this would pass because this is something Sean wanted. The contract was signed before it was presented before the council in September. If you watch the September meeting, all the language appears to be like we're going to be having further discussions. We asked questions about it. We didn't find out this was signed until December, about December 6th. And we didn't find out from Sean. We found out from someone else that this got signed. None of the council knew at that point in time. When asked about it, we have weekly updates from the town manager once a week with mundane little things. You think and I'll be correct on the amount, $678,000 contract isn't anything we'd like to care about? I don't like this back and forth either. This was inappropriate. It has nothing to do with what is on the agenda, and it was purely yet another political stunt. Thank you.
All right, can we move on?
I'd like to add something here.
Okay,
Okay.
can you be concise, please?
I'm gonna be what I am.
Okay.
You know, I take offense to we get up here and we say we're all going to work together. Town manager has a point to make on something that was put out. Councilor Faber, you sit there and you say he's a liar.
Yes.
I take offense to that.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
And I think it's totally inappropriate for you to do that. We cannot, as a
talked about
board,
having
work
decorum.
together.
I know.
All right? If this is going to be going on back and forth. You and I have had discussions, Sean, about working together. And I'm more than happy to work together, but
Dan,
let's stop the attacks.
All right, let's stop. We just said we weren't going to do this anymore. So please, let's stop.
First, Dan?
Just stop. We're going to move on. All right.